What's going on and how's everybody doing? You're tuning into Vanguard Music Podcast, where we dive into the world of battle rap music and the culture that connects them both. I am your host, Kirill, and today we're back with the champ, Real Deal. How you been, man? How's the last couple of weeks treating you?
I'm all right, man. I'm not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just chilling.
That's good. That's good. I wanted to jump right into it and talk about your recent trip to Nova Scotia for Pat Stay's memorial event, the
Mm.
Stay Day. Can you tell us a bit about the atmosphere there and if anything made it unique compared to the other events you've battled at?
Yeah, man. So it was again, we were up there to, kind of highlight and bring more awareness to the trial. We were just celebrating,
That's right.
not
Right.
celebrating is not what I meant, but like acknowledging 2 years of the passing of Pat. So we wanted to celebrate Pat is what I meant up there. It was a great event, man. Just the love that he has up there. The mural up there that's beautiful, it's protected. Just to see everybody come out, man, it's just to see it. It's awesome, man. Like the way he rapped about the people uh that was around him, and you start to say dark side and all that. They were cool, great people, man. Just a wonderful experience.
Nice. And Pat was such an iconic figure, and seeing the love that still follows his name is amazing. And I've noticed you posting pictures by the mural and with some legendary individuals. Was there any specific moment that stood out to you, and why?
Um, Shit. You know what was really cool? I'll tell you what. When you drive, so to get to the mural, you got to go from Halifax to Dartmouth, which isn't far. It's like right across the bridge. But the great thing about his mural is it's not on some like back alley train track or whatever, which wouldn't be bad, still it's great somebody's acknowledging you. But when I was driving the Uber, you can see the mural from across
Oh,
the
nice.
the yeah, the harbor or whatever. And I thought that was really cool, man. I don't know if they strategically did it like that, but it was great that, you know what I'm saying, you can
Yeah, it's the city really shows love there. Eh? They really
yeah, they love Pat, man. They
legendary.
love
Yeah.
Pat. Yep.
So and your battle in Nova Scotia was a special moment for the community, especially with it being a part of Stay Day. And in your opinion, why is this event so important for battle rap as a whole?
I think I always tell people, man, battle rap is a very tight-knit, unique, very unique family. Many of us have watched this thing grow into what it is today. And when you lose anybody in the culture, and I've had the blessing to know so many people, and obviously the tough part is I've lost so many, but especially a figure like Pat and to the circumstances that he passed.
Yeah.
It's great to know that we rally together and that we do, you know what I mean? We don't forget our own, you know what I mean? And so I think it's important to keep these events going because to me, how important he was to the Canadian battle rap scene and just battle rap in general.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. On that note, everyone who hears us, sees us, should go to patstayforever.com and support in any way they can. There's donations, there's clothes, and I'm pretty sure there's stuff going on with the trial, like you said, right? Long live Pat Stay, legend. Now, I would like to switch the subject a bit and go back to where we left off last time, Statue 2, UPMC.
Mm.
We already went through the list of producers and touched on some choruses. I'm not going to take up the whole evening breaking down every song one by one, but I'd like to go over some, maybe touch on some features. And so you mentioned earlier that we mentioned earlier the Tommy Gunn track with Apathy is a rapper's rap song, and you just dropped a dope video to it, by the way, right? Everybody should go.
Yeah, yep. Which Anderson Burris edited. So that's out now. So that's dope. Yeah.
Everybody should go round that up for sure. What about the feature with Bubba Sparxxx? To me, that track sounds like a single. How did that song come together, and will you be taking that to a video?
Yeah, so I've always been a big Bubba Sparxxx fan, man. I've always loved Bubba Sparxxx catalog of music. I've always respected, and again, I'm not from the country. I'm not from, I'm from city, you know what I mean? But I just always liked somebody that told their truth the way they told it. So I got cool with Bubba probably in like '08 or so. He was doing some tours and some stuff, and he allowed me to do some like hype man work, open for him a bunch of times.
Oh, nice.
And so that was all cool. And then I've been kind of wanting to lay a track with him for a minute. It just didn't line up. And finally we were able to get it done on this. And it's another Big Germ beat who's done a lot of work with Mac Lethal. And then we were able to get my homegirl Tara Lane, who has a wonderful voice on the hook. And yeah, I was pleased with it, man. So I'm definitely trying to look for a way to get that into a dope video. And I agree with you. That's definitely something I want to put out there as well, for sure.
It has that feel. It has that single feel. You know what I mean? Like it's
My man.
I also really enjoyed the real thing when it comes on. It's up there with me for the Born Ready and the real thing. Those are like that's what I look in rap. You know what I mean? And
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
the sheer amount of punchlines in that song alone deserves a separate conversation. That Biden line, I catch a smirk every time I hear it. You know what I mean?
My man.
It's dope. So I was gonna ask the chorus also that has that epic feel. I was gonna say who are the people featured on it, and does this song have any stories?
So the real thing features, I believe, the Death Dealers Anonymous,
Yep.
who are Dirtbag Dan and Reverse Live. So
Oh,
they formed a group called the Death Dealers Anonymous, really like low key, and their streams started to do numbers. Like they're just good. Their music is really it's separately it was
that's
good.
why I'm asking. I was like, who are these guys?
Yeah, and then fucking we made it happen, whatever. And but their stuff is really dope, man. So if you haven't checked it out, it's cool. And I always like collabing with battle rappers on songs, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we're from around all these talented people, why not utilize it? So
That's why I
yeah,
like
that's that.
this, man. That explains it. That was a dope track, man. And we also touched down a little bit on this already, but I was gonna just finish that conversation. Horror and Moral Terror. You said you were supposed to have a legend on that track, right?
Yeah, it was actually supposed to be me and Chino. And we were all locked in to do it. And Chino was gonna hit the studio that week. And just tragically, you know what I mean, we lost a legend. So, I went ahead and I did the second verse and then I dedicated it to Chino. Um,
Yeah, rest.
but yeah, man, just super, super sad. And if you notice, like maybe not, but like on the song, I tried to kind of cadence switch to complement his stuff, right? So Chino had a way of such an unorthodox lyrical style that because I try to do a little bit more of that nowadays with trying to challenge myself in different pockets and cadences. And yeah, man, it was just very, very, very sad, man, because it was one of the last songs to wrap up on the album. And unfortunately, we lost a legend, man. So
Definitely did.
I still wanted to finish the song and dedicate it to him, and I was happy with how it came out, considering what I had, to contribute to it. But yeah, man, rest in peace and absolute icon, man.
Yeah, for sure. Before we wrap up this segment and move on to the last one, I was just gonna say last time I couldn't word it right. What I meant to say is your album is not all over the place because it is a look into the world of real deal. You know what I mean? After listening to it a few times, I feel like I know you better.
Hmm.
You show a lyrical side throwing punches, you know what I mean, real thing, and horror and Moral Terror, Born Ready, and then there's a reflective side of you like 55 and Grandma's Recipe. So it's an all around look into you, and you carry a certain style from track to track, from beat to beat, and it's you that ties it up. You have a style, my friend. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, no, thank you, man. Like, I'm really super pleased with the way the project came out. And again, I'm somebody that I if I like a style or a cadence or something from a musician or a rapper, I try to input that in my within logic. I'm not gonna
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if I can't
You
if I
make it
can't.
yours. You make it yours for sure because I couldn't pinpoint anything that I would say, well, you sound like somebody. Granted, I don't know
Right.
every artist out there, you know what I mean? But at the top of my head, it's yours. I don't, it's your own style. And I really appreciate it. It's nice. It's really nice. And I was gonna say about the hard copies, I seen you just posted a box of hard copies, right? How can we,
Yeah.
I want to get one too. So how do we get one? Do we hit you up in
Uh,
the DM or how does it work?
yeah, just hit me up in a message and I got you, man. I'll ship them wherever. So I got them. I just got them in a couple days ago, man. Just when I got back from Scotia, unfortunately, man, it took a while. But yeah, I got them in, man. So I'm excited about that too, bro.
Perfect. So everybody who should hit him up. Like I said, I'm getting a copy for sure. I'm impressed with that project. I really am. And now for my closing segment, I'd love to touch down on the event that we have coming up, the Vanguard Music Championship. For those who aren't familiar yet, please visit vanguardnetwork.org for more details. We're hosting an online event, part championship, part battle, part songwriting competition. It's a one-on-one kickoff tournament where participants are given a topic, a time frame, and an opponent. It's free to participate, and it's going to be absolutely off the hook. We got people like legends like Real Deal, we got Ness, and we've got Nameless for the top tier judges for this year round. So go for more updates, go to vanguardnetwork.org. Sorry for that little segment there, but now I'm not familiar with your whole complete discography, but have you ever released a diss track?
That's a great song, bro. Or that's a great song. Great question. No, I never did, bro. And I never even threw a sub at anybody. But to be fair, I was never dissed. But if I was, especially in the realm of battle rap, I don't think like I remember there was a quick wave of people doing diss tracks and stuff. Like, I don't know that it would have to be something big for me to run to the studio and do it because I'd have to do it right? I'd have to have some dope graph work. I'd have
You
to,
say
you know,
you wouldn't do it just for clout or just to challenge somebody.
yeah, like I wouldn't. I'd have to have like an original beat. Like I wouldn't, you know what I mean? These are things that take money. You know what I'm saying? Like so. But no, I've never. You know, I'm gonna tell you something funny. I was. I don't know if this is dissed or not. There is a song by Riff Raff.
Yes.
Okay, so Riff Raff had a song and a video, and he says in the video something something. He goes, substitute teachers become battle rappers. Now,
Huh.
before anyone's like, well, how do you know he's talking about you? So my man, a homie of mine from Pittsburgh,
Okay.
was his DJ at the time and told me, he's like, yo, that's about you. Like he's talking about you. Like we were watching your battles and he just threw that in there. And the video is funny too, because he's not even in the video. It's James Franco rapping the whole video. Like I'll have to send you a link to it. I forget what the song's called, but the song's not that bad either.
I haven't
But he's
followed much of Riff Raff, but it's interesting.
no, I'm not. I wouldn't even pretend to, right? And that's no slight. I've never been down the rabbit hole, but I remember seeing that, and I'm like, oh shit, like because my man was touring with him at the time, and yeah, I was like, so it was weird because I'm like, that sounds like a diss,
Yeah.
but I would never immediately go into the studio like, okay, it's up for Riff Raff, like I'm about to, you know what I mean, like. Because to me, that would sound very clout chasing on my part, right? Like,
True, but I don't know if
but
it
in respect, I mean, it did sound like he took a cut at me first, but this was a couple years
fuck around, start a rap beef here. Anyways,
with Real Deal and Riff Raff because the world's been waiting.
given your background as both a battle rapper and a songwriter, what do you think is more challenging, crafting a full cohesive song with hooks and verses, or breaking down an opponent with punchlines and angles in a battle?
For me, it's a song. And the reason is because it's hard to nowadays to see what fans want to hear, right? So like,
Hmm.
what people always say 90s hip hop and it was great, but
Yeah.
and I definitely don't want to say a lot of artists in the 90s sounded the same, but I feel like how do I say this without being anything taken account? You look nowadays, there's a fan base that wants to hear a little Pump,
Hmm.
and there's also a fan base that wants to hear Royce,
Yeah.
Conway, and there's a fan base that wants to hear you get where I'm going with this.
Is that
So
bump?
it's hard to have a finger on because I'm not somebody that just immediately, oh, this is dope, this isn't. Like I want to know, especially with an 18-year-old son, like, okay, son, why does this appeal to you? And then how can I incorporate, because I don't want to make dinosaur rap music. I don't want to constantly just I have my bread and butter and I'm never going to change that. But if I can find ways to implement cooler stuff or stuff that's more relevant now and then put, like you said, my own. So maybe I have a beat that's more a more yachty style beat or whatever, but I'm not saying dumb it down, but like I put together a dope verse. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
things that I think I can incorporate. So, but it's hard to see, put a finger on like what kind of song nowadays versus if you give me a person and I have any kind of facts about them, I'm so used to it. I'll make,
You
you
train.
know, as the saying goes, I'll make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll
Yeah,
figure it out. So, but the song, man, and so even when I look at my streams on my album, there's songs that I personally like, man, I love this song, like, but it's not doing shit. And then other songs you're like, oh, that's man. Like I always tell this story. I have a song that's came out in 2011. I didn't promote it. I didn't push it. I don't necessarily super love it. I mean, it's okay. It's cool. It was a track, like a, I don't want to say if I try to not make filler tracks, I don't want to use that, but like definitely not my favorite track of the album. And
okay.
I've been getting paid off it for 13 years. It's by far my most streamed song. It's, I don't know where it got picked up, who loves it, where it's hitting at. I'm guessing overseas, but you just never know, bro. You know what I mean? And that's so, like
Yeah,
you said earlier, you know, track X might sound like a single, and then all of a sudden there's these other tracks that catch traction. You just don't know, bro. It's some tracks
for
just
sure.
catch somebody in a, you know, at a time or whatever. You never know. So I think to sum it up, that's definitely far tougher nowadays for me is to find the, you know, a good productive song.
Song. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, since we're on the topic of songwriting, how important do you think it is for an artist to know how to stay within the subject matter chosen and be able to approach the same subject from different angles?
Let me get that one more time just so I'm not confused.
How important do you think it is for an artist to know how to stay within the subject matter chosen and be able to approach the same subject matter from different angles?
Oh, okay, okay, I got exactly. Well, I think a fresh take on an angle or a fresh take on on something or a unique take is good, but you don't want to overthink it, right? So I always say to people the way I feel about country music. And I like country music, but I
Hmm.
feel like country music is very feast or famine as far as their stories and approaches go. Like for every one song that is so specifically good that people relate to it, there's something where you're like, what the hell is this? This is the most
Yeah,
unique, specific. I can't relate. You know what I mean? And so I think you can become guilty of overthinking it. But again, I mean, if you have a subject matter and you come at it from a completely different standpoint and it has that Shyamalan twist to it, I'm a big fan of risks. I'm a
that's good.
big fan of risks. You know what I mean? If like, you know, this is just a hypothetical, and I'm not even saying this is good, but if the topic was drugs and I just rapped about drugs and drug use versus somebody that rapped from the perspective of a dope head,
For sure.
you know what I mean? And
Sure.
did it well.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So
Joel Ortiz
yeah,
had a banging track like that.
yeah. So for me, you know, I think take a risk, man. But you know, I'd rather go down swinging than just take the topic at hand and do a certified fluff piece. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. And since in our competition in Vanguard Music Championship, since we're giving participants a specific subject to build their songs around, a deadline to stick to, and an opponent to compete with, do you think this is a competition that can help an aspiring artist grow?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I think as an artist, some of the time the most difficult thing to come up with is this is the subject matter. So if you already give me the subject matter and you alleviate that kind of pressure, yeah, I mean that then you don't really have an excuse. Writer's block shouldn't be an excuse. There should be no excuse. Like I've already, it's like telling someone this is the meal I want for today. Make it, you
Yeah, yeah.
know, and then you go from there. So if you're already
Still have to meet.
giving them, yeah, you're giving them the subject matter, then it's up, you know, it's up to them to put whatever twist on it they can, because in my opinion, you're getting the most difficult part out of the way. To me,
Yeah,
the most difficult part isn't beat selection or cadence or even writing. It's what to write about.
Well, yeah, well, you are a pro though, right? So too, but at the same time, there's gonna be a lot of people are gonna what do you call it? A lot of people are gonna do basic stuff, right? And then there's gonna be the ones that actually spin it, like you said, right? Write it from a perspective of a dope head, or write it from a perspective of a syringe. You know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that are gonna stick out, the ones that are gonna find the most unique and proper way of delivering the subject matter. You know what I mean? Not just hearing drugs and rapping about drugs, right?
But I
That's
will say, and the only thing I'm going to put out there is unique doesn't always mean good, right? Like,
true.
so, but
That's
I'd rather go down swinging. You know what I mean? Like I've again, I equate this to country, and I hope I'm not going to piss off country music fans. I love country, but for every big payoff where you're like, oh, that's an amazing plot twist or story, you hear a song where you're like, what the fuck? Like, this is too specific, too nah. But maybe that works for somebody else. It's
yeah,
subjective.
I
But
hear you. And I know we're pressed for time. There's one last thing. It's more of a favor than a question. Could you please invite people to sign up at vanguardnetwork.org and let them know that you're going to be the top tier judge there?
all right, I got you right. Yo, it's your boy RD, the chef, real deal. Please tap in vanguardnetwork.org. We got a competition, free, by the way, to get in there to sharpen your, you know what I mean, your skill set. Man, listen, I'm going to be judging. We want the dopest songs. We are giving you the subject matter to run with, so you don't get no excuses. If you're a hungry MC, man, if not, that's what we need. We need hungry MCs, people that really want to make a name, people that really want to, and again, it's free. So stop bullshitting, man. Tap in. I'm gonna be judging, you know what I'm saying? And come on, man, send me your best, man. Bless me. Bless my eardrums, man, one time.
Awesome, brother. Thank you so much. Now that we're
Easy
wrapping
call,
up,
big day.
if you want to drop any of your plugs again, go for it, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time and everything.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man, just tap in with me on any social, man. Just let me know. We got the album out, man. Spin it. Let me know what you think, man. I appreciate everything, bro.
Everybody should go get Statue Volume 2 UPMC. It's been Real Deal Vanguard Music Podcast. Krill, peace out. Thanks a lot, brother.
My dog.